Continue on to drilling tips. So, if you weren't aware already, the drill bit not only fuels you up, it's also a potent weapon. So you can kind of picture the bit being roughly under your seat. That's kind of where I visualize it. When I first was learning the drill, I kind of assumed it was somewhere down there. But obviously, if you're thinking of the full size of this thing, it's here or further back from there. So I use my seat position as my rough estimator of where the bit is. So one important thing when you're doing close quarters combat with a drill and trying to drill targets is you're going to need to do a lot of bouncing to keep your movement up and make it to where you can get around your target. So if you're just facing your target, you're getting shot at likely, so you want to be able to bounce and get around your target if you're on the ground to get back up over the top of them again. And if you miss your drill, you need to try to stay behind them. So let me go and turn some bots on here for us to go for. And we'll see what we get. Bots on. Alright, we've got a rook, a drill, and a dredge. So we'll look for those real quick. Let's see if we can not do the drill first, because that's a pain in the butt. Okay, there's the rook. So with the rook, obviously, with their double large mounts, you don't want to be facing them head on if you can help it. Also, when you're landing them, I seem to have better luck if I land them from behind. He's overheated, which is your opportunity. You're aiming for pretty much the center of their big head. See, I'm stuck on them already. See, I'm bouncing up and down to try to get back on top. I have better luck with most grinders if I hit them perpendicular. Like if I'm positioned this way, they're positioned this way. It seems to help your legs from getting caught on them less. Also, if they're facing that direction, they can't be shooting at you quite as much that way as well. Let's see who this is. I'm going to guess the dredge. It's probably the drill. Oh, it's another. It's another rook. You know, when you're fighting a real person in a rook, they're going to be using those side-to-side jets to get out of your way real fast. So you pretty much need to come up on them unaware. For the dredge, you have a big landing target, and you want to aim right for the center of it. Nope, see, scrape back across them. So if you miss and you're not damaging them immediately, you want to kind of scrape yourself around to see if you can hit their center a little better. There's going to be a drill around somewhere. Also an overhaul, I think, somewhere out here. Let's try to find the overhaul. I'm going to avoid that drill for a while because that's going to be annoying to try to show you that one. The drill's a challenge to drill because your target's also where their top mount is, so you get hung up on their weapon. Overhaul's probably going to be one of your easier targets to land. It's just a large reef. Again, you're aiming for that center panel. He's also on this rock. Let me run it back up for a second. Okay. But landing them perpendicular is going to give you a lot more area to see where you're at. So that panel there, if that panel is in roughly full view, you know you're pretty well centered with him. That's what you are. Dredge! Torso screw, he's got a scatter shot. You want to try to stay behind the dredges if you can. Of course, if this was a real player, they'd be trying to turn around. Just gonna try to stay behind them. For them, you're aiming for that plate that's on top. It's kind of a rooftop angle almost. You're aiming for that plate. Also, you can, of course, chop their arms off and stuff. If you see your aiming reticle showing the 4 lines on the outside, you know you're doing some sort of damage. Ooh. Let's see if I can avoid this. Get him. So you're also getting fuel faster. Where you're doing some good drilling, you'll see that fuel gauge pop up real fast. That's usually you getting some good damage. It could be a limb, it could be a core, but if it goes all the way up, it's likely the core area. or you're just scraping lots of plates off. The plates seem to give you some fuel back too. So this is probably going to be the drill, which I don't want to mess with, especially since I'm critical. We're going to slam into it probably. There we go. There we go. So we'll get back in there and see who we find. I'm hoping we get all of them. We haven't seen a hopper or gold rush yet. So with a hopper, you want to just avoid their front claws as much as you can, because just a little tap with that will blow your drill up pretty fast. So you want to get them from the sides or just from above, but be wary of them if they're using the air brake. Because the air brake, if they air brake at you, you hit them, you have 2 drills. Okay, slam on my leg. Leg stab. I'm gonna stab his leg with these guys. Oh my gosh, 3 drills, are you serious? Great times. It's gonna hold up this whole video here, trying to drill drills. I'm gonna waste a lot of time doing it. So I just skim over the top of them instead. You can do it, it's definitely doable, it's just you have to get it just right. I think it might be easier for using a shorter weapon mount. I got some fuel back there. I needed something, but probably just some plates. Yep, these top plates are gone. Try again. Nope. You're better off to not drill a drill unless you're just trying to prove a point. I'm going to go for a leg stab on this guy. I missed. Again, but he's facing the other way. I missed him again. This is going to get too long to just be chasing drills around. Let's just get them out of the way. Are you serious? Oh my gosh, come on now. This game's feels. It's like it knows I'm trying to not have drills. I'm just going to get rid of you real quick. I don't need you here. Okay, we need hoppers and gold rushes, please. Not more drills. Was it 4 of them in a row? Oh my god, are you serious? Okay, this is just ridiculous at this point. We'll just go with it, I guess. Maybe by the end of the video we'll get the gold rush and the hopper in here. Of course, I could just refresh the bots list, I guess, if this happens more. Okay, there's something that's not a drill. Let's see what you are. Hey, okay. So, maybe he's gonna pop me though. There you got me. So for the catalyst, you want to aim for the head, obviously. But landing those perpendicular seems to do the best. And if you miss, you're likely to cut an arm off, which is useful. So for dredges, I think I've discussed already, but you want to try to stay behind them or just come at them as fast as you can, avoid your damage. Laser's going to slow you down. If you get shot with lasers, it's going to throw you off a little bit. Ooh, nice shot. Didn't do much to you though. I'm going to see if we can find catalyst, but I bet the overhaul blew him up already. You're going to be using your, what's it called, your fuel pump a lot to keep this going. Hey, this hopper finally try airborne kill here. Depends on how much air he gets. He might roast me before I get there. Notice I'm changing direction pretty quick. I'm doing wrist flicks to kind of bulk my torso up. Giving it a turn while you're jetting upward will kind of make your torso twist a little bit more. While your legs are dug in the ground, your torso will twist. And when you let up, it seems to, whenever it straightens back up, it seems to spring you up a little faster. So I use that a lot to change my direction and speed faster. It's also the same trick I use when I'm skating to start the speed off. I'll do a little twist and then tap my downward jets, which is the drill bit, to keep my height low, or keep my speed low to the ground. There's a hopper. Overhauls. For Gold Rush, here we go. For Gold Rush, you want to try to stay away from the front half if you can help it, because if you miss your landing and you're still by the front of them, they can kind of pin you down with the cow catcher. It's like your legs just get stuck under there. If they're jetting forward, you want to jet with them backwards, like that. See, that actually was jetting forward to get out from under me. If you're playing against experienced players, they'll do that pretty much every time. They'll try to jet past you like that. You always want to save, if you can, save fuel to pull up if you're hitting airborne targets, because if you don't, you're likely to pop yourself with their shrapnel. Once their corpse is flying around, you can actually kill yourself with their body just by traveling with it. Just then I did a little wrist flick to bounce up faster. Okay, that's good enough for now. We'll see if this video is good enough for the cut.